Hi, I'm Lindsay Stevens, and this is episode 1 of the Poetry and Yarn podcast. You can find the audio only version of this episode as well as show notes with links to anything I mention on the website. That's www.poetryandyarn.com. So, this is episode 1, something new to me. I've decided to try a video podcast or video blog. So actually one of the things one of my friends mentioned was kind of the difference in names. So I'm curious as to what you think the difference is between a podcast and a video blog, a vblog, and which one you think this falls under. So we'll see what happens with the name in the next couple of weeks. You can let me know your opinion by commenting on the YouTube page, on the page on the website. Email me directly at support@poetryandyarn.com. And in addition to your thoughts on this episode, feel free to tell me what you'd like to hear me talk about. Just coming from my perspective as a technical editor, as a crochet, knit, and general craft teacher, what you're interested in. So I actually spent earlier today at my son's baseball game. I took my knitting with me. This is my current fun project. It's called The Shawl of Destiny by Amba O'Brien. And I actually cast this on back in February. And I kind of put it aside for a little bit because things got hectic. And I've picked it back up, and I'm hoping through the various baseball games to finish it up so I can have something new to wear that I made for me. Because this is something completely new for me, a new media, a new format, I thought the most appropriate thing to talk about would be learning new things, like learning new things in crochet, in knitting, in just crafts in general. We all hit that point, whether you're learning something like straight from the beginning for the first time, or whether you just want to up your game and learn a new technique, a new stitch pattern, a new type of stitch that you haven't quite tried before. And I think there are some tools and some ways that you can kind of like maximize your chances that you're going to get it and that this is going to work. So when you're looking to learn something new that's like a major thing, like a new technique or a new craft, I think your best shot is to take a class with the teacher. When you're in a classroom with a teacher, you have someone who's an expert in the subject there to teach it to you. And not only are they there to show you and to teach you, they know what the most common mistakes are. And they can help you avoid those. You know, when I first tried to start to learn to knit, I tried to do it from a book. I went out, I bought yarn, I bought needles, and the yarn I bought was this really fuzzy boucle. So I tried to learn to knit, and it didn't work. I couldn't see my stitches. I couldn't see what was going on clearly, and I dropped it. And it was maybe a good 4 or 5 years later before I picked it up again with smooth worsted weight yarn this time, and it really worked. If I had been in a class with a teacher, the teacher would have pointed that out from the get-go, like, wait, stop, that's a beautiful yarn, it's cushy, it's fuzzy, save it for a later project. Right now, to get started, you need something smooth and light colored so that you can see what you're doing. Awesome if you can take a class with a teacher in person. If you can't, look for online classes. It gives you the feedback with the teacher. It gives you their knowledge, their advice. You can shoot them photos or little mini videos of what you're doing to get their feedback. That's a great way to get the expert feedback on what you're doing to help you, make progress. Sometimes taking a class doesn't work out. So maybe there are no classes in what you want to learn being offered in your area. Maybe it's an expense factor at the moment, or you just can't travel to a show that has what you're interested in. If that's the case, the two main things that people tend towards are videos and books. Videos are fantastic. They can be a great way to learn. And nowadays you go online, you type in a topic, and you can get like a huge list of videos for pretty much any knit or crochet topic there is. My caveat with videos is look at the source of the videos. Keep an eye out for where the videos are coming from, and I'll explain the reason you want to do that. My method of knitting, I'm actually a combination knitter, which means I form my purls slightly differently than you might if you'd learned standard English or continental style knitting. Nothing wrong with that. The way I do it though, I have to be aware that I have to compensate on the next row so that I don't twist the stitches. And that's fine because I know to do that, because when I was taught that, I saw that that was an issue. The problem is you've got a lot of people posting videos online on how to do things, and they leave out really important facts like that. Like when I was first looking at that method of purling that I used, there were all these videos and no one mentioned, hey, you need to compensate on the next row. You need to be aware of how this orients your stitch differently and how this is going to affect you. A video from an established teacher, an established professional from a good company who provides solid crochet knit stuff, they're not going to leave that stuff out. They're going to tell you what you need to know. And they're not going to leave out crucial bits of information like that. So that's why when you're looking for videos, look at who it's coming from. I'm not saying you can't learn from anybody, but I'm saying you up your chances of getting all the information you need to do it successfully if you're getting it from a reputable source. If videos aren't your thing, a lot of people like books. It works for me. I'm not sure if you know, but I'm actually a certified teacher, grades 8 through 12 math. And one of the things you learn when you get education training is everybody learns differently and everybody has different styles. And some people can learn from books. And it just clicks and it works. And if that works for you, run with it. One of the nice things nowadays is it's become much more common to see step-by-step photos for different stitches and techniques in the books on them. It gives nice clarity as to what to do. When you're looking at books, so look for the step-by-step instructions for the things you're trying to learn. The other thing is be aware in the back of your mind whether you function better with pictures or with line drawings. Right now where I'm at, I can learn from pictures. I can look at the pictures and figure out what I need. But way back when I was first trying to learn to crochet, I couldn't handle the pictures. The pictures had too much information in them. There was fuzzy yarn and hook, and there was a shine on the hook from the light source, and there was so much going on, I couldn't figure out what to focus on. So for me, it actually worked better to look for line drawings. But like I said, that was for me. Everybody learns differently. So you don't have to do what I did, but be aware of your own preferences for learning, what works best for you, so that when you're choosing between book A and book B on the subject, you can make a more informed choice on what's going to work for you and what's going to be best for you and kind of up your chances for success. And I think lastly, kind of the last word of advice I would give is if you try something new and it doesn't work the first time, that's okay. I think we kind of forget how much practice you need to get good at something. And, if you handed a 3-year-old a box of crayons or a 2-year-old a box of crayons for the first time, and they scribbled all over the paper, you wouldn't look at that and say, oh, man, yeah, you're not very good at this. You should probably give up the whole paper and crayon and drawing thing. No, it's their first time. They need practice. They need a chance to learn, to grow, develop. That leeway, that understanding that we give to toddlers and to small kids, we should give to ourselves as well. Realize when you're picking up something new, it won't necessarily be the first time or the second time or even the 10th time that it clicks and it looks beautiful and looks perfect. But if you put the time and the energy in and keep going, chances are you'll get there and you'll feel so awesome afterwards. So this has been episode 1. Let me know what you're interested in hearing about in episode 2 and in the future. Thanks. Bye.